This is the Objective Jerk, and I am said jerk. How you guys doing? Man, having some problems with OBS. This is why I quit using OBS though too, because I don't have the patience to deal with this. You know, it was working just great for the first episodes, podcast that I did or whatever, and then for some reason today, 30 seconds comes by, it stops recording, and so I had to eventually I had to uninstall and reinstall, and that seemed to have done it. But I don't have patience for much of anything really. But technology is one of the ones that really pisses me off. But anyway, here I am. I do want to say again, thanks for all the feedback and everything. I noticed my last podcast, the audio was crap. The video part was fine, but the process, however, through Buzzsprout or whatever, I listened to and it was just sounded bad, like so bad that I kind of wanted to delete it. But it was, people were listening. I don't know. I guess I could change it up, do it in GarageBand and change it. Maybe I could have done that maybe. But I adjusted the audio a little bit, so I think it's going to be a little, because it sounds good to me as I'm recording and as I'm doing everything. I listen to it and it's like, oh, okay, this sounds good. But then once I get the final product and it's already uploaded and everything, I'm like, dude, this sounds like crap. So hopefully I got that dialed in. Anyway, lots of stuff going on in the news. We got two. Well, let's see. So we have right now there's the Michael Anthony, the bassist from Van Halen, Carmelo Anthony. This isn't about them.
Fuck them. Fuck up.
But it's looking like they're going to get in trouble. But so that's going on. And then you have, the Knicks winning, and then New York's riots and, the normal stupid shit. But then I think in California, there was a complaint called into police in LA, and they shot a dog, and people are, and I made a comment, and I'm getting lots of feedback on it. It's just kind of funny. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that towards the end. I keep seeing I'm getting notifications and I'm just like, dude, I don't know, I'll talk about it later. But anyway, so all this crap is going on, and no one is talking about Anthony Fauci and the whistleblower. And to me, that's huge. How is it this is not mainstream? Because they don't want it to be. It's annoying. So here we go. Switch screens.
Dr. Fauci at one point leaned over this sort of oval conference table and said, one of the problems is the public is not afraid enough. And I was shocked to hear something like this. And I interrupted. I said, can you repeat that? Dr. Fauci said, that's the problem. The people are not afraid enough, so they won't listen. I think it's sort of obvious, but I said, that's unethical. That's not the way public health is supposed to be done. It's unethical, in my opinion, to use fear.
Dude, that's pretty much every sane person's opinion. But now, oh, what? That goes against the left? Oh, no, that's not a good opinion. Whatever.
In an emergency, to manipulate people.
I think it's important to go over the definition of crimes against humanity, and it's acts committed as part of a widespread or systematic attack against a civilian population, taking away physical liberty. So would releasing a virus that causes a global pandemic be crimes against humanity? And yes. The answer is yes. Releasing a global pandemic would certainly qualify as crimes against humanity. So, can crimes against humanity be pardoned? Absolutely not. You cannot pardon crimes against humanity. So what is the punishment?
I mean, I didn't know that they cannot be. I don't think it should be. So I'm happy and agree with that.
Life imprisonment. And what is a historical punishment? Many life sentences. We need to lock up Anthony Fauci.
Yeah, and you know, why did President, and not just Fauci, but people in the Biden administration who pardoned Fauci with the little pen machine. It's like, it's horrendous, man. And he shouldn't even go to prison. He should be publicly executed. And then a lot of the other people, it should be like the Nuremberg trials. You know what I mean? This is like next level crazy bullshit. But the thing is nothing will probably happen to him. No one's gonna care, or they just forget about it because it's not in the news, like, you know, the Knicks winning or the dog that got shot by the cops, which is what I'm going to talk about. But it's I don't know, it's insane to me how this isn't. Now, I mean, again, could this guy be making it up? Yeah, maybe, I guess. But let me see, I wanted to get to the part where it showed his name. So Scott Atlas, Senior Fellow, Hoover Institution of Stanford. I guess it says it up here. I'm an idiot. But yeah, it's completely, I mean, it's on Twitter, and you know, not many people, nobody's talking about it on the left or whatever, right? Correct. I mean, it's just one of those things. And then, but the things that are making the news is this stuff right here. So here's a couple. LAPD killed a woman's dog during a welfare check, all because she was yelling in her own apartment celebrating the Knicks' final win. Then they just stand there over the body like it's nothing. Absolutely madness.
What are you talking about?
See, this is the kind of retarded bullshit that the left, again, they think with emotion instead of. So, you know, they're getting a call. Police don't know what it is. Hey, there's a call of whatever. There's a call. It sounds like somebody's getting hurt, whatever. So they go there. They talk to the woman. A dog comes at them aggressively. They only have seconds to react, so they shoot the dog. You know, what do you want? It's the way it is. And then, like, the cops were threatened by this. So they got a picture of the dog. Yeah, he's all fluffy, but he's a big-ass dog. Those dogs are pretty big. And the fur, and that doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything, you know? They have, I don't know. It's just kind of retarded how people just jump immediately to, oh my God, they broke in and murdered the dog on purpose or something, you know? And it's like, what? Did these cops mess up? Possibly. I don't know. But, you know, only videos and any information coming out is just the aftermath of her crying over a dog and this and that. And this is what always happens. And people are like, oh my God, blah, 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 all this outrage. And then the body cam will come out and, you know, it'll either exonerate the officers or it's going to be like, yeah, they kind of messed up. And it does happen. I've seen videos of dogs, specifically more like pit bulls, you know, because pit bulls just look mean, I guess. I have a little pit bull. I'm not a dog expert, but he's like the shorter kind of style pit bull, almost like a bulldog. He's like, I think, a cross between like a bulldog and a pit bull. And he's just a big sweetie. He wouldn't do nothing. I mean, he tries to bark. His bark is like, arr, arr. He's got a little pussy bark. But everybody's afraid of him, you know, but he's the least likely the one to do anything to anybody, really. I don't like to tell anybody that, but you know, it's just the way it goes. So there's, you know, I've seen a few of them, but the one that comes to mind is the dog comes running at the guy, but the dog looks excited, doesn't look aggressive, but the dog gets shot. Can't remember if the dog died or not. But the thing is, that officer only has seconds. It only takes seconds for that dog to get to him. So he's seeing a dog rush after him, and it's a pit bull. You got to decide whether this dog's going to bite you or, you know, lick you. And you don't want to get bit.
Hell no!
You know, it's not like, I mean, most dogs in the States have rabies shots and are inoculated, but not all of them. You know, you never know. You just don't know, and you can't hope for the best in that line of work. You got to make a decision, and a lot of times they shoot the dog. They can't tase the dog. I mean, they can, but it's like you're not going to get a good connection. That's what happens. The dogs get shot. And it sucks. You know, I like dogs. I have dogs. You know, I got a story in Iraq. I think I've talked about before, but was the infantry, I want to say 2nd ACR. What year? I think it was the first time. Yeah, I think it was like 2nd ACR or something. And they wanted MPs to, I don't know if we were just extra bodies or they wanted MPs to help with like any kind of paperwork or some crap.
I have no idea.
I don't remember why, but I just remember being assigned to a squad of infantrymen, and we entered a house in Iraq and they're looking for cache. So they're hitting every house. It was just going through, checking the houses, looking, making sure people aren't holding caches of weapons and explosives and stuff like that. Well, we went to a house that had a big wall, big gate, nobody's home, right? We can't just like, oh, go to the next one. We have, you know, orders are orders. We had to look. So, and you could tell that there was a large dog on the other side barking aggressively, doing its job, you know, and it did look like a German Shepherd, which it was, but it was hard to tell at the time. But infantry guys, you know, I was in the stack, but I was like towards the end. And then they opened the door. Point man was ready. Pop, pop, 2 into the dog. And we entered in, and I remember seeing the dog on the ground, you know, wiggling. And, you know, I felt bad. I had a job to do, but it was like, oh man, that sucks. But, you know, we can't sit there and try and figure out if this dog's nice and get a thing and tie, you know, we got to get this done. We don't have the time to mess with the dog. Just like these officers didn't have time to mess with a dog when there's possibly somebody getting assaulted. You know, they don't know what's going on.
Hit him! Hit him! Who? Anybody.
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20 when you can go back. Oh my gosh, it's just these people that have no idea, have never been in that kind of situation. You just need to like shut up.
Shut the fuck up!
And but so they shot the dog, and there's more stories I have going through the house. They wrote a note. They buried the dog. Sorry, but you know, it happens. But you know, dumbass criminals shoot police dogs all the time. You know, but you know, the same people who are crying on X don't say nothing about that, right? But here we go. So let's see. So I'm gonna read some. So I just made a little comment on it, and now here we go. Here we go. See, they gotta look at my profile and then they gotta say something. So I get down on all fours and fascism. Oh, geez. All right, let's see. Where's the one? Oh no, see, that's not even the first one that I did. I made a comment that got me included in this crap. Trying to figure out which one it is. Damn it. Let me see. Okay, let me try this. So here's a little video. You can see LAPD killed a woman's dog during a welfare check, all because she was yelling in her own. Oh, I already talked about that. So we know that, and here's the aftermath, right? And then somebody said, there's a difference between an excited dog versus an aggressive dog, which is true. But sometimes it's hard to tell when you have seconds to figure it out. I genuinely think if you can't read a dog's behavior, you shouldn't be working a job that would possibly involve coming across dogs.
Shut that cunt's mouth or I'll come over there and start her head.
Not everybody's the dog whisperer, okay? And again, cops are not animal control. Sometimes we are. Sometimes they are. I say we because I used to. But they're not. They don't have time to deal with a dog when there's possibly an assault or even a murder going on. You don't have time to mess with that crap. So I replied, absolutely. And I have seen a few videos of officers shooting a dog that is obviously acting excited and not aggressive. But hindsight is always 20/20, basically what I've already said. And making split-second decisions don't always have the best outcome. Body cam will clear it up.
I totally agree with you.
And then, so this guy then, what's the point of having dogs? They have teeth, so our police should kill them. Actually, you know what? That's not even my first comment. Where is my first comment? He said something about, sorry. It's this one right here where it shows this picture of this dog. The cops were threatened by this. And yeah, this picture, it's just like when somebody stabs somebody in the heart at a track meet and they show like their nicest picture, it's like, so this was my first comment. It is unfortunate, but doesn't matter how fluffy a dog is. They have canine teeth and can cause damage. If the dog charged and is not small or tiny, then it's a threat. Sad, but true. So then here, let's see. And I already read this. There's a difference between a psych dog, and I said yes. And then this guy, it is nothing. Dog likely attacked or rushed them. I hope she gets a ticket for vicious animal. Yeah, you can't blame the dog. It's probably her fault. But again, maybe the dog was just excited. Well, these people are responding to me plus other people that there's difference. Okay, so I read that one. That dog wasn't going to kill them. Are you fucking joking? They need to toughen up if they're taking that job and not kill anything that crosses their own. See, this is just somebody who's either trolling or is a complete moron.
Who the fuck is that guy?
And you have never been in any kind of situation where you have to make a decision like that. So it's like,
You dumb fuck!
you can always rely on someone to get down on all fours and fast vision. Again, people like, now they're bringing, see now this I'm assuming is trolling because he's not even having a conversation. He's just, oh, fascism. What? No! And then this one, Catholics cause more damage. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. So then that means he went to my profile, saw, oh, okay, and then, and to me that's a pussy move. Why can't you just talk about the conversation at hand? Why do you got to go to somebody's profile to see what they're about and then make comments about it? Because you're a fucking pussy.
Because you're a pussy boy.
And then this guy, yeah, look at this pussy. So to all three of us, wouldn't it be pussies? Look at these pussies. I don't know, but people are stupid, man. People are dumb. And again, most of it is just kind of bullshit. They're trying to get a rise. I don't like to type hatefully. Oh yeah, well, it's like, it's just stupid. So you can't bait me with it. Maybe not 100% sometimes, but yeah, it's just kind of stupid. Well, yeah, we'll see. So what's going to happen is the body cam footage is going to come out. And they probably knocked on the door. Hey, what's going on? She opened the door. The dog came at them, and he had seconds to draw his weapon and shoot the dog. Again, it's unfortunate, but was he supposed to wait until the dog's gnawing on his throat? Oh shit, this dog's a threat. You know what I mean? It's just these people and these are all the people that sit there and like, bitch, these are the stupid liberals. Not all of them, because again, some of them are just trolling, trying to get clicks, and they don't even care about what happened. They're just like, oh, this will get me some interaction, But for those that actually do kind of, believe it, they're the ones voting for us to have all these immigrants come in and they murder all these people, and then they don't. It's like, because they've never experienced it. They've never had to deal with anything in their life. You should have to take a test to vote. Not only have voter ID, but you should have to take an exam for, common sense thinking. And if you can't pass, you can't vote. I'm tired of stupid ass people. What was the other thing? There was something else too. Dang it. I wanted to... Carmelo Anthony, don't care because they're stupid.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but the parents look like they might be going to jail too. Dumbasses. Let's see. I mean, they totally failed his son, dude.
Oops.
Yeah, and there's people like pictures of people pretending to pee on Austin Metcalf's grave. I didn't look too much into it, so it could be AI. I don't know, but it's like, but actually, a lot of people are kind of, now that they are realizing or learning the details of the case, they're like, oh, okay.
What the fuck?
So they spent all this money on all this other crap and didn't use the money for their son. They failed their son. People are, but see, that's the thing is like, again, I'm glad that they're realizing it, but that means they react and they think with their emotions. They immediately just like, oh, outrage, what? Instead of like, what? And, you just got to do a little research, get the facts and be like, oh, okay, never mind. And that's basically the two sides. It's not black, white, liberal, conservative, whatever. It's emotional reaction, thinking with your emotions and thinking with your brain and using common sense. That's it. Those are the two types of people. So we'll see. I mean, maybe, but even if body cam shows the dog looking so happy, the guy's got seconds, milliseconds sometimes to figure out what's going, if this dog's a threat or not. So again, it's unfortunate, but you can't sit there and cry and bitch about, police doing their job. Oh, every time they come across the dog, like they're acting like they're just walking down the street and they just shot some random dog or something, it's just so stupid.
Why the fuck would I blow up Chick-fil-A? It's fucking delicious.
It's people. What do you mean, you people? Anyway, that's kind of it. I just kind of wanted to talk about that, more about dumbass people. But let me know what you think. Let me know how the video and the audio is. I do check it though, but still, I appreciate the feedback, even the constructive criticism.
Do I sense some hostility here?
Yeah, it's all appreciated. So thanks for, let me know what you think. I mean, it's kind of hard to really have a strong opinion until all the facts are collected. The video, the body cam video. Once the body cam video comes out, obviously it's going to be okay. Yeah, the dog didn't look aggressive, but again, you have seconds to figure that out. You don't know, I mean, if it was a little tiny chihuahua, coming out and the guy just stomped on it, okay. Yeah, that's crossing the line. That's not cool. But those dogs are pretty big, and all dogs have the same kind of teeth. Canine, they can cause damage. It's just, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks for hanging out, and God bless. All right, bye.
Say something for the podcast. Tell the people what you feel.